Hello everybody, and welcome. Hello everyone, and welcome to my playthrough of Ambition, Minuet in Power. My name is GustShrugs. If you haven't seen me before, welcome on in. This game is just released today, and yeah, let's get right into it, shall we? Prologue. Bet's story. The carriage rumbles and bounces along the cobbles as you approach Paris. It's taken over a week to get here, even carrying just yourself and your luggage. That's meaning that there's more story ahead to advance. Click anywhere in this textbook. Your fiancé, Armand, arranged for the carriage to take you from your small village to a tavern he enjoys, called the Orphan's Feast. There, he'll meet up with you. You'll likely take dinner together, and then he'll show you to your new home in Paris. For now, though, you've already finished all of your books, and Armand's letter is your only entertainment, other than staring out the window. Might as well take in the sights. Reading the letter one more time wouldn't hurt. Or, coachman, let's go. I don't have all day. Well, we're not going to be that rude, so yeah, let's take a look around. You crane your neck out the window to peer at Paris. It's even more than you imagined. The streets are a riot of color and energy as people go about their days. Elegant persons of fashion strut like brilliant peacocks. Students stumble under the weight of their books. Beggars alternate between pleading for alms and shouting invectives at passers-by. Everything feels significant, like the world's next act hinges on all of their choices. Though part of you is worried by your unfamiliar surroundings, you mostly feel excited. This place is to be the stage for your new life. Coachman, can we pick up the pace, please? After a quiet sigh, the coachman obediently flicks at the reins and the horses pick up their pace to a brisk trot. The city blurs by as you quickly make your way towards the Orphan's Feast, the tavern where Armand said he would meet you. As tired and rumpled as you are, you're glad that he arranged to meet you in a place with ample food and wine. When you arrive, the coachman helps you out of the carriage, and you find yourself outside. A glowing, friendly-looking. The sign shows a grubby-looking child holding a plate piled high with fresh bread and roasted meats. This must be the place. Inside, a woman polishing a lantern looks up at you as you enter. Her face breaks into a bright smile. Bonjour, madame, and welcome to the Orphan's Feast. Her eyes linger expectantly on the door for a moment before settling on you. You're suddenly reminded of how rare it is for women to travel by themselves. How may I be of service, she asks. This is my first time here. Is there anything I should know to help me find my fiancé? Or I'm looking for my fiancé, Baron Armand de Marbeau. So I have played the demo of this, it's actually further in the channel if you wanted to go back and take a look. So I am going to skip the tutorial just for brevity, but you do want to see this sort of prologue with the playthrough with the tutorial, feel free to check out the demo. Oh, a missing person. That actually sounds interesting, she says with a devious smile. Look at that smile. My goodness. The barmaid pauses to think. I haven't heard that name before, but I just started working today. If you ask around, some of our patrons might know where to find your fiancé. While you only have one outfit to your name at the moment, the Orphan's Feast doesn't feel like a particularly judgmental place in terms of fashion. The credibility won't be shifted by what you're wearing here. As long as you explore the tavern and talk to people, you should be able to find Armand soon enough. Okay, so we've got barmaid here. We've got whoever this is here and this person here. We have 2 remaining turns. So maybe let's go talk to this guy. An amorous inquiry. While you search for Armand, a handsome young man approaches you. Perhaps he'll be able to help. Okay. Handsome? I'm on board. You look around the unfamiliar tavern, trying to find Armand. Your eyes scan for his chestnut hair, your ears strain to hear the sound of his infectious laugh. Someone clears their throat behind you. You turn around and find yourself face to face with an unfamiliar young man. He's well dressed and handsome enough, but it's the middle of the day and he already smells like 2 bottles of wine. Pardonnez-moi, madame, but I can never ignore the sight of a woman in need, and you appear to be lost. Rosy cheeks. May I escort you? His smile is broad and cocky. I'm so glad to hear that. Can you help me find my fiancé? No, monsieur, you may not. I'm fine by myself and— Oh, you are so kind. Please do. I mean, maybe he can help us. The surprised man's face broadens to a happy grin as you reach out and take his arm. Why, it appears that I arrived just in time. Now, where are you looking to go? Oh, nowhere in particular, just around the tavern with you. I'm trying to find my fiancé, Baron Armand de Marbeau. Can you help? Yeah, we should probably try and find our fiancé. Well, that is what I offer to help you do. The man grimaces and begrudgingly holds out his arm. You take it happily as he conducts you about the tavern, visiting all the places that you suspect Armand might be. However, after a few minutes searching the tavern, it starts to become clear that Armand is nowhere to be found. Madame, I believe this is where we part ways, your newfound guide says, gently pulling away from you. Before you can respond, with a wave that is barely as polite as decorum requires, he departs to seek the affection of a different young woman. Guess he didn't like us very much. Okay, so now that older guy that was there is lady. No one else. A countrywoman. Now that you're more acclimated to the guests and travelers of the Orphan's Feast, you should be able to find someone that can lead you to Armand. After hours of questioning and searching, it's late in the evening, and you've still yet to find Armand. You're not even sure why, but you feel exhausted. Who knew talking to people was such hard work? Now that you're warmed up, this may be your chance to finally find out where Armand is. You approach a woman who you had spotted glancing your way earlier. I'm looking for my fiancé, Armand. Have you seen him? Pardon me, have you seen the Baron de Marbeau? My name is Yvette, and I'm looking for someone. Can you help me? She laughs nervously at your request, shifting from foot to foot. She makes small talk for a brief moment before excusing herself and disappearing into the crowd. The room appears to be emptying out. A gentleman you remember seeing earlier walks by. He might prove a little more useful. Monsieur, a moment of your time. Have you seen my fiancé, the Baron de Marbeau? And excuse me, can you help a woman in need? Do you know a man named Armand? He looks at you, glances over to the woman you spoke with earlier, then quickens his pace as he walks by. I think I remember from the tutorial that it's the same. The room is emptying out even faster now. You manage to get the attention of another woman. Hello, She doesn't even slow down before she leaves. After a third person gives you the cold shoulder, you start to wonder what happened. Are you really that out of place? Is it something about Armand? What is going on here? Still, you check around the orphan's feast one last time. There's no sign of Armand, not even an open tab with the tavern keep. After waiting around for a few hours, you leave the orphan's feast, dragging your small mountain of luggage behind you. After all, the coach was only hired to take you to the tavern. Armand may not have been waiting for you like he said he would, but you memorized his address from all the times you wrote it on your letters to him. It's the middle of the night, but the street is still teeming with life. The light from the windows and the street lamps sparkle like the stars. You're tired and your feet hurt, but still, you can't help but smile. This is it. This is Paris. No matter what happens, you're still here. For a brief moment, you're not a country girl dragging luggage through the streets. You're the person you feel that you are. Close your eyes. Alone. You're overseeing a grand salon, surrounded by poets, musicians, scientists, philosophers, and artists. You are elegant, sophisticated, and respected. You're getting close to the address. Armand never described his living conditions much, but he's the son of a baron, and his family was always well-to-do, especially compared to yours. You've spent a lot of time in that carriage wondering about the home you'd spend your new life in. Still, you didn't expect this. Oh. It's all dilapidated. Shutters falling off, cracked windows. Looks shoddy. Calling the house rustic would imply that you were out in the country, not in the center of a city. The neighborhood is nice enough, but you're worried that if you breathe too hard on the building, it'll fall over. A well-kept woman in the attire of a maid opens the door and approaches you. Ah, bonsoir. I assume you must be Madame Yvette. My name is Camille. Monsieur Armand told me to expect you. Merci, Camille. Please take me to Armand. And is this where he lives? Oh god, the rats in there ate him, I was hoping he was with you, replies hesitantly. I haven't seen him in days. Thank you, Camille. Do you think he's alright? He's got a lot of explaining to do. I'm sure he's fine, madam, Camille replies with a tone of voice that doesn't fill you with confidence. Glancing around, Camille seems to notice your mountain of luggage for the first time. Mon Dieu, madame. Did you carry this all yourself? You must be exhausted. She's not wrong. You're not certain how you're still upright and awake right now. I've already made up your bed, madame. Please go inside and let me take care of this. You take your diary and leave the heavy lifting to Camille. The inside of the house isn't much better than the outside. Camille keeps the place tidy, but she can only do so much. Still, you don't care about that right now. You're just happy to have a roof over your head. You flop down on a nearby couch, open your diary, and start to write. You're tired, disappointed, and perhaps abandoned, but writing things down always helps you make sense of a situation. So this is the after party report, which is what happens after you do like an engagement, but this is just the prologue, so we didn't lose anything, we didn't get any rewards, there was nothing there. Alright, continue. 21st of March, 1789. Early the next morning, Camille approaches you, occasionally wringing her apron with her hands. She's obviously nervous. Madame, there's something you should know. Taking a deep breath, she continues. You're expected to attend a party the day after tomorrow, held by one Baron Maximin de Termes. I mean, Armand replied to the invitation, but you were to be his date. Splendid, a party. What? Why didn't you tell me sooner? And Camille, do you know anything about this Baron Maximin? I'm sorry, madame, but I don't know much. It would have been improper for me to pry into Monsieur Armand's affairs, Camille replies with surprising earnestness. All I know is that this Baron de Termes is a very outspoken political type, always going on about constitutions and natural law. Monsieur Armand attended a lot of his salons, but never really looked happy when he came back from it. I hope that helps, madame. Well, at least I have a party to go to. Camille looks visibly relieved. Parfait. If you need anything washed or prepared, just ask. Ask, not ask. That reminds me, Camille exclaims. If you're going to a party, you should probably make sure you're dressed appropriately. Fashion moves so quickly here that people retire outfits before they even wear out. At this proclamation, you can't help but notice that Camille's uniform has been repaired many, many times. Camille continues. Monsieur Armand was always going through clothes so quickly. He said that every outfit had a certain amount of novelty. Every time you wore them to a party, the novelty would go down a bit. In fact, even a little thing like wearing the same thing twice in a row could run the novelty out faster. Can you imagine? Fortunately, he knew the most delightful clothier on Rue de Faubourg Saint-Honoré, I believe. She runs a shop called Le Petit Mogul. I'll draw you some directions. Immediately, she starts sketching some directions, mostly just simple renderings of local landmarks. Le Petit Mogul is now available to visit in the Paris map. If you head out today, you should be well prepared for the party tomorrow night. It's like, that's where we gotta go. And there's like nothing else. So this is Paris. Fantastic. Incident. No incidents. Can't move it around. Point of interest, shop, current objective. Incident. Exhaustion level 1. -5 credibility penalty at your next party because I'm tired. I mean, that's constant. Constant for me. I'm always tired. It's a long walk to Rue de Faubourg Saint-Honoré, or however you say it. But the trek to the narrow street is worth it. Every block hums with a vibrant energy, bursting with life. Porters and social climbers wind their way through the streets, festooned with brightly colored parcels. Paris may be a city swimming in fashion and finery, but this is the source. This street is home to all the major fashion houses in the country, and to Rose Bertin, personal dressmaker to the Queen herself. And now you're here. Back home, they sigh and dream of places like this, then quietly get back to their little lives. Not you. Your circumstances may be less than ideal, but you're still here. Le Petit Mogul, you mumble to yourself idly, trying to make sure you remember the name of the shop. Eventually, you find a small boutique tucked between some far grander buildings. Ooh. You open the door and walk into the tiny shop, which seems even smaller due to how absolutely full it is. This isn't just a boutique, it's a workshop for whoever works here. Rolls of gorgeous fabric cover every available surface. Cloying smoke hangs in the air. The scent is pleasant, but wholly unfamiliar. As soon as the door swings shut behind you, you hear a sudden rustling of fabric further in the store. A customer? Umdallah! A surprisingly young voice calls out. I have an important Bonjour, madame, and welcome to Le Petit Mogul. A woman, presumably the owner, calls out to you. How may I help you? I have an important party soon and I need to look amazing. All of this is so new. What can you tell me about outfits and fashion? And what is that smell? Oh, that? Her cheeks flush with embarrassment. That's lucky incense. I light it on slow business days. Ah. Next words are a quiet mumble. My mother gave it to me. Now, how may I help you? So, this part, I don't remember, so I am gonna do the tutorial for the fashion component, because I don't remember it. At those words, she looks giddy to the point of bursting, but tries to play it off as a knowing smile. This deception is only half successful. Oh, I think I can help with that. Select one of my lovely outfits to see if it's to your liking. Remember, my stock changes every day, so be sure to visit often. So this is me here. I'm a big-boobed brunette. The beauty mark. I look like Belle from Beauty and the Beast. Oh wow, look at all these different... In the tutorial, they only had like one outfit and one color, like just... that was it. So... Oh, and in the tutorial, they didn't have all these different things. They only had like a couple. Like in the demo, sorry, not tutorial, in the demo. So this one... -7 for the crown, +3 for church, +12 for military. -3 for bourgeoisie. Birds work for the bourgeoisie. And revolution center. Okay, so this is how much, like, they're organized by cost. So this one is more than I can afford. So is that one. Although it's really cute. I think it's very cute. It's like very cottagey. Oh, this one's like very demure. I still can't afford that one. I can afford this one, which is -7 crown, -3 bourgeoisie, but +3 to the other things. I think this one would be the best. Yeah, it's -6 to the church, but it's neutral for 2 other things and then plus. And it's also the least expensive. So that's the one I'm gonna buy. You've just spent some of your money. I know it says levers, but I think it's liars. Or leers. Are used to buy outfits, pay servants, and more. Try to make sure you always have some on hand. Hey. So I don't understand what this... Oh, sometimes they like robes, decor, humble, paracos, and skirts. Okay, so I can't afford that one, so... This one I bought? Oh no, the one I bought, it doesn't show. Okay. Because they have like, there's a revolution symbol by the name, so I wonder if that has anything to do with it. Okay. The 22nd of March. So it just moves me to the next day. You awaken to the vision of sunlight filtering through the shutters, scattering sunbeams across this dusty bedroom. It takes a few minutes before you groggily remember that the events that brought you here. You also remember that tonight, you have a party to attend. Neil enters your bedroom, already full of cheer. Madame, when would you like to start getting ready? If this is as important as the invitation makes it seem, I should start preparing now, or we have some things to take care of today. I don't think that we have anything to take care of. So we should maybe start preparing? Maybe? Let's see. What can we do? Camille winces at this statement and looks to the floor. I don't know how to tell you this, madame, but party preparations for a woman of your station usually take all day. On days where you have a party, you won't really have time to spend exploring Paris. Oh, okay. Once you go to your wardrobe, we can get started. I've never really done anything like this. Is there anything I should... Let's do the tutorial. I don't remember this either. Don't worry, madame. A glamorous woman like yourself is sure to catch on quickly. Click here to go to the wardrobe. So this is my provincial outfit. This is where I legitimately just look like Belle from Beauty and the Beast when she's like riding her horse. But I should do this one. I mean, or I can do this one because it's plus 19 for military and it's simple for the rest. Right? And the novelty's 100. So why don't I just wear it? See, this party is being held by the Revolution. They like robes a la they like robes a la Française. Okay, so I have to wear this one then. This makes more sense. Go to the party. Here we go. When the carriage drops you off at the party, you find yourself waiting in line for quite some time. Looking at the other guests, you wonder if you're underdressed or overdressed. It's honestly hard to tell. You look yourself over one last time and confirm that you're wearing your robe à la Française to a party being held by the Revolution. The guests have no strong feelings on your outfit, and your credibility has not changed much. With preparations like this, the results of tonight could be a toss-up. If we remember anything from the tutorial or from the demo, it doesn't matter what I do or say. Tonight is not a good night for me. Period. While you're determining your standing in the world of fashion, you manage to overhear an interesting rumor while in line. You make a mental note of it just in case. You've gained a piece of cheap Revolution gossip. This will be useful later. Okay. Unfortunately, you can feel exhaustion set in as soon as you think of the full itinerary ahead of you. Tonight is going to be a long night. Credibility down. Being exhausted has given you a credibility penalty. So I have 0 credibility and 0 peril. Immediately upon entering the vestibule, you're greeted by a doorman holding a small ledger. While he isn't physically barring your entry, his manner certainly is. Name, madame? He asks expectantly. Yvette Decow. Deso, I think. Or Deco. Baron Armand de Marbeau. The valet looks shocked. Baron de Marbeau? Why are you dressed? A moment later, he composes himself. Ah, I see you are the Baron's date. Baron's date. My apologies. Is there anything I can get you? Please convey my deepest gratitude to our host, and that I'm eager to meet him. If this goes bad, I'm not going to bother sending gift of wine. Yes, absolutely, madame. The Baron shall hear of it quite soon. You hear some murmurs from other guests in the vestibule. Your gratitude and enthusiasm seem to have made an impression on them, though the doorman seems rather unfazed. You have gained a little credibility. Ooh, 5. Okay, the more credibility you have, the easier it is for you to deceive someone during a credibility check. Before you can ask any other questions, he bows deeply to you. Pardonnez-moi, madame. Baron de Termes instructed me specifically to inform him as soon as you had arrived. We've heard so much about you. Enjoy the party, he says with a smile before leaving. Okay, so there's these people again. I don't know this guy. I don't know this guy. And there's this lady. We have 2 turns left. Musicians here. Let's go to the parlor, maybe? The cardinal sin. Oh, it's cheap church gossip. A pair of gentlemen are huddled together, speaking in low voices about some scandalous event that took place in the countryside. That information could be useful later. This one... 2 guests are clearly looking for someone else at this event. Apparently, a new revolutionary figure has arisen in Paris. One that's winning quite a bit of favor among the more radical elements. In fact, you might even be able to meet such a person later. Okay. This one. This woman standing by herself seems quite fascinated by the host of the party. Baron Maximin de Termes. Well, let's go get some church gossip. Why not? You happen upon a pair of men whispering in a corner together. They're trying to look as happy and engaged as the other guest, but their movements are too stiff. They seem concerned. The younger one sighs and gestures to the crowd with his wineglass. Everyone's talking about reforming the estates as if it's going to be as simple as making a request. Does nobody remember what happened in Grenoble? They sent soldiers into that town just for trying to hold a meeting. The older barman replies weirdly, Agreed. And the bloodshed was monstrous. Did you hear about their bishop? That he'd killed himself after the riots? Yes, even I found that distressing. You'd heard that too, but it was only a rumor. The church never confirmed this. But why would they? Yeah, why would they? If you could learn more, this might be some truly valuable gossip. Mon Dieu, I grew up in Grenoble but never found out the truth. What happened? Eavesdrop or leave them alone. An easy credibility challenge. Well, I only have 5, so let's see. They turn, noticing you for the first time. I can understand why, madame. It was grisly enough that the church didn't make any official announcements. The archbishop's funeral was a closed casket because... The older guest stopped his friend mid-sentence. I'm not sure if we should continue. I would not want to offend the madame's sensibilities with such dreadful detail. Please, monsieur, I need to know. Or perhaps you're right. It may be too much for me. Let's see if we can push it. After a long pause, the older man relents. Fine, if you must know. The Archbishop of Grenoble shot himself, the younger man says flatly. It was a suicide, and a particularly gruesome one at that. That's why he was in a closed casket instead of being laid out properly. It was also why the church was so unwilling to divulge details of his death. This is exactly the level of detail you were hoping for. A rumor, by itself, isn't of any consequence. Gruesome details, on the other hand, make for fine gossip. This should be valuable to someone. You've acquired some cheap church gossip. This will be useful later. You continue your hushed conversation with the 2 men and manage to tease out a few more specifics. Eventually, the three of you eventually go your separate ways. Eventually. Could be eventual. We don't know. Okay, so... Oh, now it's... I think it's just the Baron. In the demo, it was a woman from this party. I wonder if they've changed it. Maximin appears. A man dressed in the sober colors of a revolutionary is marching towards you, stopping occasionally to shake hands with various like-minded people. You can surmise that this is the Baron de Termes. the man who invited you and Armand here. This is where we get, I think this is where we get ripped apart, if I remember correctly. Out of the corner of your eye, you notice a tall, thin man dressed in somber, serious colors. The way people are clustered around him, you get the feeling that he's quite important. He glances up from his current conversation, politely excuses himself, and approaches you. Ah, you must be Madame Dessau. I'm not sure if Armand spoke of me, but I'm Baron Maximin de Termes. Right as he focuses his attention on you, you can feel everyone in the room watching you out of the corners of their eyes. His opinion must carry a great deal of weight. But please, let us dispense with titles. You may call me Maximin. The crowd chuckles, and you can't help but be surprised by this noble's informality. This would be downright scandalous in any other circle. Conversations in the various corners of the room die down as people strain to hear your exchange with Maximin. Ho ho! It's great to meet the woman Armand spoke so much of. He said more about you than he did the state of the nation, and you know how much he loves that. Maximin smiles and offers a knowing wink. Now that I've seen you, I can see why he had such muddled priorities. Gained a little more credibility. In fact, you may both find these useful. He grabs a jumbled stack of political pamphlets off his desk and hands them to you. Discourse moves so rapidly after all, and I would hate for the two of you to have any trouble keeping up. A few voices in the crowd murmur in approval. Maximin pauses, his eyes sweeping the room for a moment. But please, I must trouble you with a question of my own. Let's see here, this is... I've been told that Armand is unable to join us tonight. What has delayed him? I'm sorry, but Armand has taken ill. Still, he said that I just had to attend your party. Or I actually don't know, Maximin. I don't even know where he is. Ooh, should I try it? Try it? Yeah, let's try the credibility challenge. Huh. Oh, really? Ooh. That's fantastic to hear. I'm surprised that Armand thinks so highly of true revolutionary minds. Murmurs of appreciation and agreement ripple through the crowd, but are quickly hushed by other guests who are also pretending that they're not listening in. Wow, we gained more credibility. Maximum chuckles. Of course, this gathering is more of a salon than a party, but I can see why you would be confused. He reaches out and pats your hand. Please don't be embarrassed. I'm sure Armand will be able to explain the differences later, when he's feeling better. In fact, when you do that, I have a message for him. Write this down if you can. Tell your Baron de Marbeau to stay in his sick bed. It is a blessing for all of France that we no longer have to deal with his ignorant and traitorous declarations. He emphasizes this point by slapping one of his pamphlets against his thigh. Who knows? Perhaps if the two of you read enough, you might be able to stop embarrassing yourselves. Psst. The crowd is no longer making a secret of observing your conversation. They are gawking. Why invite Armand if you disliked him so, or I don't need your pamphlets to know that you're being a presumptuous boor. Increase your peril by a small amount. But yeah, why invite him? Just to embarrass him? I invited your dullard fiancé in order to denounce him and his views. People like himself should not waste their time clouding discussions with their dangerous ignorance. They're better served by repeating the words of their more revolutionary peers. Oof, I lost some credibility there. Maximin narrows his eyes until they're barely more than slits. In fact, you can practice this virtue now and make sure that he hears this, should you manage to find him. His wild and unseemly ideas make him an enemy of the revolution, an enemy of the common people of France, and an enemy of mine. The only thing he can do to atone for his miserable views is to take you and return to the backwards obscurity from whence he came. Maximin's voice drops low to a growl barely above a whisper. Before you speak, I already know what you're thinking, that somehow you don't deserve this. You are wrong. Our associations reflect our character, and you have chosen to associate yourself with a dangerous boor who drags at the heels of true progress in France. I can only assume that you are a craven opportunist who thought that marrying into a title would provide an easy path above her peers. That your life would be easy if you just found the right person to latch on to. Like a barnacle or a leech. You are a fool for believing that, and he is a fool for loving you. Oof. Titles don't elevate us above consequences. Now leave my house and never return. Ouch. That was rough. Before you can reply, a valet grabs you roughly by the arm and drags you from the study. People like your loathsome host don't need to do their own dirty work. They have servants for it. It takes far longer than you'd like to get outside, as the entryway is crowded with guests preparing to leave. You can feel their eyes weighing heavily on you. When you finally get to the door, you feel a brutish shove, and you stumble into the courtyard, barely keeping your balance in your heels. The area is equally crowded, with various persons entering their personal carriages. You can hear somebody snicker. You have no idea who it was. The only thing left to do is go home. Sigh, this has been a night I'll just leave. That's some big talk about titles for a man who can't even do his own dirty work. Choosing to take the high ground, you straighten your posture and hold your head high, striding towards your carriage as if it was your intention to leave like this all along. While you make a great effort to haughtily avoid eye contact with all of those watching you, you can tell that some of them are quite surprised by your decorum in this dire situation. Ooh, we gained some more credibility for that. However, when you arrive at the place where your carriage is parked, you quickly find out that it isn't. It's gone. You check to make sure that you're in the right place, but to no avail, the carriage you hired is simply not there. He went home, a passing coachman says helpfully, while adjusting the harness on a particularly grumpy horse. Doorman came out about an hour ago and told him you wanted the coach to leave without you. Seemed real important, so he went home. Before you can even respond, he gets his carriage moving, leaving you alone with yet another indignity. Going back to Maximin is obviously unacceptable. It's too far to walk home. Most of the other guests have already left. However, there appear to be 3 other carriages waiting to leave, each of them quite different. Perhaps one of them can help. Okay, so this is very similar to the demo. So there was like a priest, soldier man, and someone else. The carriage to the left of you is of foreign design and features a gilded crest as its only ornamentation. This crest is emblazoned with a motto in Latin and appears to belong to a priest of some description. The curtains are drawn, but someone appears to have lit a lantern inside. Judging by the occupant's silhouette, it looks like he's reading. You consider the humble carriage for a moment. Is this who you like to ride with? Let's look at the other ones. Bold carriage. The carriage in front of you is obviously being used by a soldier of some sort. The driver is leaning intently towards the passenger compartment, waiting for orders. You recognize the insignia of the Queen's Dragoons on the side of the carriage. It feels noble and proud, but also capable. And what's the last one? Extravagant carriage. The carriage to your right is richly decorated, yet somber. Swags of black crepe hang from the roof of the carriage, leaving only glimmers of the gold underneath. The decidedly feminine bent of the decorations indicates that the occupant is a woman, but all of the black suggests that she's in mourning. Ooh. A wealthy widow. I don't know. I went with the soldier in the demo, so I kind of don't want to do that. I think I'm going to go with the widow, or I'm going to try to go. Settled in your decision, you set out, ready to entrust your fortune to a mysterious stranger. The coachman pays you no heed as you approach the sumptuously decorated carriage. Normally, you find yourself to be quite fearless in social situations, but something about this whole scenario gives you pause. Should you knock on the door? Call out? You've heard that courtiers in Versailles grow out one of their fingernails so that they can scratch on the door, as it's considered less disruptive. Locked in this cycle of indecision, you curse the fact that you cut your nails this morning. What seems to be troubling you, madame? Calls out a voice from inside the carriage. May I bother you for a ride home? My carriage left without me. Or, madame, my fiancé is lost. Our host denounced me, and my carriage is gone. Can you help? Let's go with the big one. Alright. How tragic, replies the voice with a trace of amusement. What kind of person would I be if I didn't take pity on such a helpless soul? I've gained a little bit of faith. Renee, the door, please. With that, Renee, the coachman, hops down from his box and opens the door for you. He wears the same colorful livery as most servants, but it's adorned with a black badge on his breast. You squint to peer at the woman inside, but to no avail. Between the swags of black crepe obscuring the windows and the lack of lanterns within the carriage, the entire inside is shrouded in gloom. A delicate, pale hand reaches out from the darkness to you. You take her hand and step inside. Oh! After a few seconds, your eyes adjust to the shadows and you see the woman in front of you. She's older than yourself, but still younger than you'd expect. Dressed in luxurious morning clothes, she reclines easily in her seat, clutching a fine glass filled with water. My name is Honorade. What should I call you, Madame? Dessau, Yvette Dessau. Just Yvette, s'il vous plaît. It's a pleasure to meet you, Yvette Dessau. Shall we be off? She knocks delicately on the roof compartment, and with a clean crack of the coachman's whip, the carriage makes its way towards Paris. Well, I saw you a few times during the party tonight, and I know you're new to Paris. We never had the chance to properly introduce ourselves. However, I did manage to hear about your most unfortunate run-in with our host. Why were they so dreadfully cruel to you? Apparently, they're enemies with my lost fiancé and wanted to snub him by berating me. Please, don't worry about it, I'll be fine. I don't see why we can't be honest. Honoré doesn't speak for a while, instead choosing to stare into her glass of water with an expression of surprise and disgust. How vile, she replies, to find a person who has been beset by such great misfortune, then to mistreat them so, just to posture among one's cohorts. That is truly despicable. You must be quite strong to endure such a dreadful treatment. Ooh, we've gotten a little more favor. Excellent. She examines you intently while she sips her water. I assume you are already planning your revenge, no? I know I would be. After a long silence, Honorade leans over to the window and looks out through one of the few spots not obscured by black crepe. Now, I'm sure you already know just how dangerous it is to accept rides home from strangers. We could be going anywhere right now and you wouldn't even know it. You're slightly uncomfortable, probably because she's making a good point. You stop to wonder if you'd be any good at leaping from a moving carriage. Honorade interrupts your train of thought. But of course, the best way to fix that is by not being strangers. Ask me some questions so you may properly judge my character. Please, indulge me. What would you like to know? How long have you been in mourning, or how did you know our host? Would you believe that I don't? Not really, at least. She chuckles in her glass before taking a leisurely sip. Of course, now that I know what they did to you, I have no intention of getting to know that conniving wretch at all. Until a few years ago, I was actually quite the homebody. My husband's textile mills made more than enough money for me to live a life of leisure, which he was happy to let me do. Though I'm sure he was frustrated by my unwillingness to attend all the big parties his clients would throw. Crowds don't really suit me, you see. I prefer more intimate gatherings. However, when Charles passed, I kept getting invitations. He had so many friends, and I hated the idea of letting him down more than the idea of being in a room filled with people I don't care about. So I started going. Listen to me. That was certainly more than you asked for. Now, what about you? What made you want to come to Paris? Came here because I'll do anything for love. I was sick of my life in the country. I wanted to get away. I always dreamed of being in Paris. It's a city at the center of the world. She may only be a few years older than you, but the way Honorade smiles at your answer is almost nostalgic. Running away to the beauty of Paris, to see and be seen among the philosophers and the persons of fashion. Oh, even more favor. That's really sweet, and I'm not just making fun. You are a sweet woman. Perhaps I'm getting ahead of myself, but I imagine the next question you'll ask me is how long I've been in mourning for, no? She's not wrong. She sighs. That is a reasonable question, though not one I like answering. You see, as of last week, it's been 2.5 years. You maintain a neutral expression, but you can't help but dwell on the fact that 2.5 years is far longer than any prescribed period of mourning. You've heard of widows wearing a black weeper on their gowns for a few months longer than most, but this is something else entirely. You're very polite. Most, when they hear that, take it upon themselves to chide me for my breach of decency. What do you think? Is 2.5 years too long to mourn for lost love? One should take as long as they like, but they can't do it forever. Mourning has a set length for a reason. Life is for the living, and there's something romantic about casting aside decency for the sake of grief. I think maybe the first one? No, the third one. I think so too, Honorade replies, her lips twisting up into a devilish smile. How can we say that we love someone if we're not willing to defy the rules of decency to do it? Ooh, more favor. We yearn for a beloved that would do anything for us, and us for them. Yet the moment we see a pair of lovers actually behaving this way, we tell them that they're sick or wicked. I'm glad to know you haven't fallen into that little trap yourself. The journey to your home in Paris lasts for a long time, but it doesn't feel that way. Honorade plays the part of hostess wonderfully, always managing to guide the conversation in a satisfying direction. Unlike so many other of the persons you've met in Paris, she seems completely uninterested in polite small talk, focusing instead on more interesting subjects. Love and loss, passion and transgression. You barely notice it when the carriage arrives at your home. Without interrupting you, Honorade signals to Renee. The coachman silently hops from his box at the head of the carriage and opens your door for you. Honorade offers her hand to help you get up as you get out of your seat, and when you take her hand, you find yourself looking into her eyes. Yvette, may I ask you to do something for me? Certainly. When I introduced myself earlier, I told you to call me Honorade. Now that I've spoken with you a little more, I've had a change of heart. I would much prefer if you called me Madame Gazelle when you addressed me. Would you be comfortable with that? Yes, Madame Gazelle. Honorary favor up. Oh, she examines you carefully before continuing. Because any relationship with another is about more than who they are. It's also about who that other sees you as. And I think that any relationship we have moving forward would be more pleasurable if you referred to me by that title. You understand me? Yes, I do, Madame Gazelle. Merveilleuse. She helps you down from the carriage and into the street in front of your house. Hopefully, we shall meet again soon. Bonne nuit, Yvette, he says to you before Rene closes the carriage door. Soon, with a crack of his whip overhead, the coachman spurs the horses into action, and the carriage winds through the streets and disappears into the night. You turn to your home and see that Camille is already there, holding the door open for you. Who was that? She asks. A wealthy widow with a fondness for helping strangers. She's kind in her own way. A very intriguing woman. One that I'm hoping to see more of. Your mind brimming with new possibilities, you step inside and head upstairs. Slowly, you get undressed and open your journal to record exactly what transpired tonight. Okay, so we lost 10 novelty. We got some revolution gossip, church gossip. We gained 5 credibility and 7 honorade favor. Fantastic. I think that helps us better than what the party was about. Yeah, I think that's great. Okay, and we're also going to end part 1 here because we're going to continue on with this tomorrow. But yeah, I hope that you enjoyed part 1 of Ambition, and stay tuned to the channel. Please hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you disliked it, and feel free to comment below what you thought of it so far, if there's anything you'd like me to change going forward. And yeah, maybe what's in store for Yvette. Yeah, other than that, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and we'll see you all in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.